for the church coordinators here at New Harvest Church of San Pedro. I just want to, for me, it was really good. For me, I know a lot of you, and I'm gonna cry. It was so powerful, man. For a while, I've been going through a lot of, just want to see the God's spiritual gifts, the gifts that He has, the supernatural gifts that I want them to flow in our church. I want to see the miracles take place. You know, I want to see healings take place. I want to be able to, our women, to be able to have discernment when we're praying for people, to be able to see when we lay hands on them and we don't know this woman that we're praying for, that God will give us those words to encourage them. And when we went there, that's exactly what it was. Man, you're going to hear it from all the women who went. Watch. For me, I deal with fear. And in certain areas, when there was a teaching on fear, and when Brother Tim and I were asked if we would like to, if we would like to take this position for church coordinators as our pastors, and then as Pastor George, goes with Sister Ren and takes care of her, I was like, I'm not capable. I can't do this. Like, what are the people, what are they going to say? Like, I just didn't feel worthy enough. I was like, I don't measure up to nothing that the enemy was putting in my mind. And I know that if God put Tim and me in that position to speak to the leaders of the New Harvest Fellowship, and they spoke of me and Tim, I kept saying, well, when God's in front of us, He's going to guide us. And I kept saying that over and over, but I just kept saying that, and I didn't believe it. And I kept telling Tim, I don't think I'll be able to do this. And so then after that, I said, when I went up there, and I was like, they were speaking on fear, and they were like telling us how the enemy comes, and I knew these things, but I let him lie to me. And when Glenda Jackson, when I got to see her work in the spiritual realm, it was a spiritual realm. Like, man, I wanted to, literally, for me inside my spirit, I wanted to run around. God, you're here, God, I'm coming, where are you? But He was there, with me, inside my spirit, getting me pumped up inside, giving me that presence of Him. And it was much weeping. And so that's what I dealt with, and that's how God helped me. And like Brother Tim said, it's the fire, and I don't want that fire to go. And I know what I have to do to continue to ignite that fire, to stomp on that fear. And it's not for me, it's for all the women in my church, all of us. I want them to experience what I'm going to experience. I want to experience what they're going to experience. I want to grow with them, how they're growing, how I'm growing. We're all together, because it's not about a Tim and Michelle. It's about a team. This is how the church is going. This is how New Harvest San Pedro is going to stand. It's a team. So I ask, just be patient with us. We're trying to figure this out. We've never stepped on this type of water. And we're going to step on it and walk and just get behind us. So I want to thank those, first of all, everybody who prepared to go. Thank you for preparing. And also for those who didn't get the opportunity to go, next time, because I guarantee you there's going to be a next time, because it was powerful. And so just to give you heads up, January 11th, I remember because Sister Nancy was like, January 11th is our all-night women's prayer. She says she wants everybody to be there, and I'm sure she's inviting the panel, the speakers who were there. So it's gonna be Holy Ghost, because I know all of us ladies. There was 400, they said. So I know all the ladies that are able to go, that are local here. I know we can. Those up north and so hopefully and over in Chicago, they can come, because it's going to be a Holy Ghost on fire time there. So these are all our women who got to go, and here we go. Good morning, church.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Come on now.
Good morning, church. This is not me. I don't like being the center of attention. I like to be on the back. I'll sweep, I'll make coffee, I'll serve you. I'll say good morning, but that's about it. It was 3 words. 3 words. Wow. OMG. Amazing. I mean, if I were to stand here and tell you my testimonial, oh wow, I wouldn't have the 2 minutes, sister, that I have. But all I can say is that I am so thankful, grateful that I was able to go. This was my first retreat, my first women retreat, and on my way up there, I was like, how am I going to deal with this? I'm used to me and my sister, me and my family. How am I going to do this with all these ladies? I don't know what to do. And when I got there, I was in a room with 11 ladies, 11 sisters, my sisters. It was amazing. It was like we did so much laughing and crying. And when Glenda Jackson spoke to us, oh my God, I just broke. I think we all broke. We were on fire. It's like I feel it in me now. I don't want to get rid of it. I love the sensation. I just want to be turned on like I am. I just want to say, ladies, whoever didn't got the opportunity to go, God is in us. He's always been with us. We just don't feel it because we don't give and devote our time to Him. We need to read our Bible. Pray, talk to Him. You don't have to go on your knees. You can talk to Him when you're in the shower, when you're in your bed, when you're driving to work, when you're at your desk or at your work area, and just talk to Him. Talk to Him. He is right there. Right there. He is there, ladies. It's amazing. Take the opportunity to do as much as you can within the Lord, because He is right there with us. This sensation that I have never felt before, it's amazing. Like I said, wow, OMG. Thank you.
So, first of all, I didn't want to go. I didn't sign up. I didn't sign up to go. When it was announced, I was like, not even worried. I was like, I'm not going. Sister Ren signed me up without me knowing. And then when it was time to pay the deposit, I was out of town. So I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm really not going now. Well, no. She said, no, you're going. So I went, and I thank God for Sister Ren for doing that, because I mean, if I didn't go, I wouldn't have known what I was missing, but I thank God that I went, because it was just amazing. The teachings were they're just on point. Everything just flowed perfectly. One thing that stuck out to me, the worship. The worship was just like, wow. I mean, everybody was in the room worshiping, and I kind of just stopped singing the worship songs, and I just listened, and it was just like everybody was in unity, in unison. It was like, I don't want to say like a roar, but the way it was so loud, and it was just so amazing. And again, I thank God for Sister Ren for forcing me to go, and next year I encourage whoever didn't get to go, just make the effort. Just make the effort and do whatever it takes to be there.
Rochelle, can I dance? Because I feel like dancing. Just do my work and I'm on here there. Okay, I went to the retreat with an open heart. I expected blessings, and I knew God was going to be there, but I went the same old boring Laura, like I always am. But when I met God there, oh my God, He is so pleased with me. You haven't felt the word pleasing. You haven't felt it until you felt how God is pleased with you. Because I've been coming to church for a long time, and I might be embarrassed to say, but the devil gets in and puts into my mind that he's mad at you or whoever. But He is so pleased with us. I never felt that kind of love. It was so awesome. I was full of joy and happiness, and then all the teachings were great. Glenda Jackson was great. She prophesied over the widows, which was an extra blessing because I'm a widow, and Glenda said that I was going to have a lot of money. You can't borrow any. Glenda said that all my family was going to be saved. It was prayer, And then I would like to see the fire in her eyes. Because she's a widow too, so I thought that see that, give it to me. And then what else? She said that I would prophesy one day. Can you imagine that? And I had one more thing to say. Is it 2 minutes? Oh, please God, help me to remember. It was just awesome, you guys. Oh, Sister Eileen and Anna and Syria, everyone that didn't go, you were with me in my heart. You're going to get it, and I pray that I get to share what God has done for you. But remember, He's pleased with us.
God moved if I'm up here. I don't do this kind of stuff. But like my sister, I didn't want to go. I paid everything and I still didn't want to go. I was like, I gotta work. I'm not a workaholic at all, believe me, but I just, no, they need me at work, but I'm glad I went. Oh my gosh. I knew I was gonna cry. I couldn't say I wasn't, but my gosh. The women there, oh my gosh. Just so many women worshiping, and like my sister said, it was a roar. There were angels there singing with us. There was, the presence was thick. It was thick. The preachings, the teachings, I mean, they spoke on fear, and that's why I'm up here, because I have a fear of getting up and speaking in front of people, but my gosh, they prophesied, oh my gosh, and I claimed a bunch of them. God is worthy, but I worshiping Him. It's like I believed it, but I didn't. But there was this one lady, and Gloria prophesied over her, and she said, God has to put him in jail. If He has to put him in a hospital, they're going to serve me. And I feel like I have 3 kids serving God with me. I have 4 kids, and my son, whether he has to go to jail, whether he has to go to the hospital, he's going to serve God with me. And God just told me, continue to do what you're doing for Him. Continue loving Him, continue praying for Him. Because one day He's going to serve me. And I thank Him for all you who have unsaved children. Oh my gosh, kids are my heart. Because I know how it is. And oh my gosh, it was amazing. You're going to hear it from everybody. If you didn't go next time. But if you didn't go next time. I don't care what you got to do. If you got to call out sick, call out. Do what you got to do. God will provide. God will make a way. My 2 minutes are probably past.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank God for being with my sister Sandy. Because if it were for her, you know, and her faith to stick with me, because some of you don't know me, but I've been with New Harvest for many years, and I've backslidden for the past 4 years, and I'll pop in and out now and then. And Sally stayed with me, and she didn't give up on me. And she asked me to come. And I'm like, yeah, sure, you know, because I do have God in me still, and I do have everything I learned. But the reason I'm here, my testimony, what I got from this thing was that holding on to offenses. And Sister Nancy preached the first night on letting go of offenses, and offenses could be also considered, I guess, grudges maybe, or just things that people have done to you that they may not even know, but you hold on to it, you let it fester, grow, and rot your soul, and it makes you sick inside. What it did for me is years ago, a few years ago, I became offended by things, and I just let it get to me, and I let it just take over me, and I left the church. And with that, I thought I could handle it. I thought I was doing good. But I didn't. I mean, yeah, I still made it through everything that I was going through. But God's always been there. And there was this thing, a car bumper thing, that always said, no Jesus, no peace. And it was the it was the N-O, no Jesus, no peace. And then underneath it said, no, with a K-N-O-W, no Jesus, no peace. And that was always my thing, because I was always a nervous wreck, always worried about anything. Like, so I just overthought everything. And what happened was, I left the church. It stayed with me, but I just did things on my own, and now I feel like my life is in chaos, and it's not really, but I feel like it is, because I don't have peace in my heart. And so I'm thankful for that, of letting offenses go, because there was one certain offense of somebody else that came to mind, and that's what stuck to me. I have to let that go, and then I started thinking about all the other offenses I had to let go. So I let that go at the altar that night, and I'm pushing through, and I'm feeling better, and I'm here on a Sunday morning. I could have been at work because I work Sundays, but I'm here to offer, to let you guys know, let offenses go, let them go. You don't have to have forgiveness from that person. You don't have to have them understand what you did. I mean, you probably do, but you don't. You just have to let it go for yourself before it eats you up inside. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I think my testimony, I didn't get to hear them, but probably like a lot of the other women, I didn't want to go. I put my deposits down for me and my daughter, and my daughter moved away, and I didn't realize how deeply that had wounded me, but it broke my heart when she left. So when she left, I said, you know what, Sister Ann, keep the money, let someone else go in our places. And she kept telling me, no, you're going. And I said, I don't want to go anymore. She goes, I'll take your daughter's name off the list, but you're going. And then I ended up losing my job. And I said, okay, now I can't afford to go, And she said, you're going. And I told her, I don't have any money. And she said, God made a way. You're going. So God made a way. And I went, and I didn't Google this place. I didn't know the name of it. I didn't know the name of the city, because I knew that if I started looking, it was like, oh, it's going to be hot. I don't have anything to wear for the summer. I'm not going to go, and some of the ladies were talking about the pool. I didn't know there was a pool because I never said, well, I don't have a bathing suit, I'm not going, you know, any excuse. But I ended up going and not even realizing how hurt I was. Because my daughter wasn't there with me. But I know the sisters were all there, even sisters I didn't know. They were rallying around. It's like, it was like a big, like a huddle. You know, you get together and you're there for one reason. And, you know, we all had various reasons, but it was one purpose. And that was just to get closer to God, to hear from God. And we all did in different ways. And something that the sister, the prophetess, she said, you know, sometimes we look to man for answers, but what we need is an answer from God. Just a direct deposit straight from God. And that was something that God did, because I didn't know that I was offended by my daughter. I knew that I loved her, and I'm believing she's going to come back. Or wherever she goes, I'm trusting that she's going to serve God wherever she is. But I didn't even know that I was offended by her, with her. But that was something that God really spoke to me about. And even the last night we were there, the first worship song we did, it was the one about the roaring, or my praise is going to be like a roar. And I kept seeing, I was closing my eyes, and all I could see was like, not just the women there singing, but like a women's choir singing, and with one voice, and the harmonies, and that everything was just there. Everything that we need is here. It's all here in these seats, you know, each and every one of us working together to fulfill the purpose that God has us here in South Pizza. Okay, but that, you know, yeah, like, we all need to go next time. Every single one of the women, you know, so that way, that's the only way we can build unity, is by having one purpose and one goal in mind. Thank you.
Okay, first of all, I have like 3 pages, but I'm not going to do this. I'm going to speak from here, from my heart. So, I did want to go to the retreat. God knows I wanted to go. I've been to retreats before. I know what it does for you. But this time, family problems and trials that are going on in my life right now, it's been going on for a while now. And what I learned is that when you talk to God or you pray, you don't just say, God, help my daughter. No. You plead, you cry out, and you plead, and you say exactly what you want, because God is going to listen to you. He listens to every single word you say. So either you build up a person or you break them down. So to me, I plead to God my situation, and in my heart, I did want to go, but yet all these obstacles kept coming and coming and coming. It wasn't until the night before that I said, God, do you want me to really go? And I heard him clearly, you need to go. So I went by faith. I got there, and as Sister Glenda was prophesizing over other women, I wanted that. I said, I'm here for a reason. I need to hear from you. I need an answer to my prayer. And I didn't get it. But yet, I was still faithful, and I was still praying, and I said, it's not over. It's not over until I get home and I get on my knees again. So, yesterday on our way back, we were coming back, and my prayer was answered at that time. And I thank God because it might not have been a week, it wasn't a month. It was years
years that I've been going through this, and finally he listened to me, and he finally answered my prayer. So my thing to you guys is don't give up. Don't give up. Just continue to pray. Worship God. He will pull through, but you need to be faithful. And I want to talk about that place that we went. That place was just beautiful and amazing. We were out there in the wilderness. There were horses and goats. We had 3-course meals. The food was amazing. The preaching, over 400 women going there for one purpose. And it was for God. So it was amazing. I have so much else to say. We went on a canoe. We were going in circles because we didn't know what we were doing. Until one of our sisters said, "Stop!" So we all kind of like, "Oops." And she tried to take over, but it was all God. We had so much fun. We went swimming, and then we stopped at a lake. And we just spent some time there with the ladies there at the lake. We were just talking about what just happened to us and how blessed we are. So thank you so much. And for all you ladies that did not go, please try to make it next time, because you will receive from God. He is always with us. He will bless us. He will take care of us. But keep that faith. And for this church, I was asking God to please just put his hands over us, all of us. And take out all this stuff, negativity that is in here, and bring everything that he wants for our church, because we are going to grow. He already said we are going to grow. So be prepared. Thank you so much.
Hey guys, so I was on fire as soon as I got in the car. I was like, I've been waiting so long. Man, we were laughing the whole way over there. That was so fun with one of the sisters and everything. But I was in fear for so long. I didn't really know. But they taught us, the workshops, was like the strategies of the enemy. And now that I see them, I'm able to stop them and grow. I'm tired of hiding, like, and being having stage fright, being like all scared of who I am, or who's gonna think about this about me, and who's this. I am so done. Chains are broken, and I've grown so much this year. I'm on fire. Oh my gosh. Oh, the Jezebel strategies with 30 bad spirits. I'm like, OMG. It was so funny. Sister Nancy was like, after she was done reading all 30 of them, she goes, "So did I get all of you?" And everybody was laughing because it did. All of them applied to all of us. And now that we know the strategies, we're able to stop them and everything. But I'm tired of hiding behind faith. I'm being scared of what God called me to be. I'm ready. I'm like, the chains are broken, and I'm ready to go and walk. Go more. And not only for myself, but for my family who needs it, people who need it around me. I'm able to share. That's all I have.
I had to write it because I keep going on and on. Okay, at first, when I got there, I was kind of bummed because only one person got the key where we went, and I was kind of bummed because I didn't get my own key. When I wanted to go to my room or I wanted to, leave or whatever, I didn't want to be looking for somebody, but God told me to stop it, and I was like, that's okay, so I do it. So I went to a workshop, and it was called Be Who God Made Me to Be. And the memory verse she used was, "Before I was born, God knew me, Jeremiah 1:5, and that I've been set apart." And she talked about how I need to stop taking things personal. We all heard the saying, "Don't take it personal." Well, this is something that I do need to take personal. Or she talked about, for example, how just like when our kids hear the for, I like to hear from my kids. That brings joy to my heart. My son's not here right now, so when he calls, or I miss his call, when I do talk to him, it brings joy to my heart. Or when Vanessa just calls and says hi. That's how God likes to hear from me. And so, how I need to spend more time with God and how I need to just really spend time with God. And what I lose is nothing compared to what I will gain in Him. And then that about the Jezebel spirit. Jezebel was somebody who killed a lot of prophets. And God really spoke to me how I need to pray for my husband. I mean, I pray for him, but I don't pray for him the way that I do. I'm sorry, baby. And I love you so much. Jezebel will come into church and how Jezebel's, she's a Jezebel spirit, how it's demonic. And I had a really great time with all you sisters, with everybody, even though we didn't share a room, it was blessing. And I'm just ready to just go forward and just to fight. And,
Hi, everybody. I was one of those people who didn't want to go either. I packed my stuff at 4 a.m. And I guess I've just gotten, it's so easy to get caught up in the routine of going to church, going home, going to work, going to church, going home, going to work. And I think that's probably, I didn't want it to change, and I just wanted it to stay like that. So I knew if I went to the retreat, something was going to happen, because when you go and there's lots of women there and they're all calling out to God, something happens, and something that, one of the teachings that stood out to me was the teaching on offense, to not be, Sister Wren taught us that when she first got here, was to not be so easily offended by people and by things, and this teaching taught similar, but I got different pieces from it, and like a lot of us get offended by people or by things people say or do to us, and we guard it. We build a gate around it and don't want nobody to touch it, and don't want, we just hold on to that. And why? Why are we holding on to that? Why do you get offended by what people say, by what they think about you, by what they're saying about you, when God's the one who made you and God's the one who loves you? Another thing Sister Nancy said was that we are God's collected works. The way you collect your shoes, the way you collect books, movies, the way you do your clothes, your ties, your everything like that, we're God's collected works. He spent so much time on us, building us, creating us, and doing all this stuff.